Yeah, yeah.
Not already, D or anyone from the team, if you want to come up here, that is fine with me. Okay, D's on the way. We've got my guy Sergio Winfrey, the man who always bears gifts, whether it's Christmas or not. Sergio, how you doing, my man?
Hey, how's it going, Omilli?
Hey, I'm good, man. How are you? Oh, you sound tired.
Yeah, man, I'm sick. I came down.
Oh,
I never know if it's just a cold or a flu, but whatever it is, it definitely has had an effect on me the last couple of days.
oh no. Okay, now let me ask: is your kid also sick?
He last week he was. He might have passed it to me, but
You
no,
know
he's
what?
not sick right now.
Mhm.
Right now he's not.
He passed that. He passed that off like a no look pass, and now it's on you. I don't think I've spoken to any parent on Spaces in like the past week or two that hasn't, knock on wood, that hasn't been sick. Or
Yeah,
I
something's
don't know
going
what's
around,
going on,
man.
man. I know they say flu season, whatever, but maybe I'm just forgetting. But it seems like it's a lot more this year than usual to me.
I think so too.
Yeah.
The thing is that when kids go to school, right, they're
Hmm.
always, connecting with other kids, and if one
Yeah.
kid is sick, they pass it to your kid, and the
Easily.
first thing my son does when I pick him up is he hugs me, right?
Yep.
So it's like transferring all that stuff. So
Right away.
I never used to
Exactly.
get sick this often before I had a child, you
Yeah.
know. But yeah, it's like a yearly
They're
thing now.
magnets. Yeah, they really are magnets. And
Hmm.
okay, but you do have like vitamin C and all these good teas and all that you need to be
I do,
drinking to
man.
get better. Okay.
I took Theraflu, and then I take, you know, you're gonna laugh, but Flintstones vitamins, believe it or not. I'm a big fan of Flintstones and the chewable ones too. You know,
Are those supposed to work on adults?
yeah, they work on adults.
Yeah,
Absolutely, they do. Yeah, yeah.
I did
Look,
not know.
just because they're branded for kids doesn't mean that the vitamins work any differently for adults. You
Oh,
know.
see, I never knew that. I always thought like it's like less potent or something for kids. I don't
Well,
know.
if I think it says on there that for like if you're under 4 years old or something, you're
Hmm.
supposed to take half of one, right? And then in
Okay,
anything
okay, okay.
above, it should have similar results, for so you take the whole piece rather than half of it, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I take it every day, and my son does too.
Okay,
I
okay,
know,
okay.
I know it's wild, but
Yeah,
yeah.
you just gotta make sure. But yeah, if you're covered, that is all good. We also got the chicken man in the building. Sloppy, how are you doing, my friend? If you're able to talk, of course.
Howdy, howdy. I'm doing good. I finished up work early
Oh,
today.
on a Friday, and you finished early.
Yeah, well, I started at 4 a.m. It's
Oh, okay, okay,
11
okay.
here, so.
But
Geez, 4 a.m.
yeah, that is
Jeez.
insane. That is insane. But I'm gonna take a wild guess and read between the lines and say because it's Friday, it's gonna be 5 o'clock somewhere, very soon for you. So you will get to relax and pop a cold one if you feel so. Um,
Yes, yes, yes.
okay, and now we got the queen of YouTube here with us, D one and only. What's up, D?
Hey, good morning, fellas. How are you guys?
Good morning. Good
Yeah,
morning.
sorry to hear you're sick, Sergio. It's yeah, those kids, right? You love them, but then they bring you some unwanted stuff.
Wouldn't want it any other way, though. Life is much better
For
with the
sure.
kids than without.
True. Yeah.
Now,
Thanks.
D, you live on an island, so do you got like some leaves and grass recipes he can get and put something together and that'll work better than the Flintstones or no?
Um, I've always been told that Vicks cures any kind of illness,
That is
whether
so
it's the
true.
flu, whether you got any and everything that goes wrong with you. Vicks is the answer.
Now,
Um,
I will. I 100% agree with you. That's how I grew up as well. They'll just slap that on your chest, under your nose, and be like, "Yo, you'll be all right, man." You're like, "Wait, I broke my arm, man. I need to go to the hospital." Like, get more Vicks, get more Vicks. Um,
exactly.
and on a side note, we found out on a space one day. Our friend Olivia. Her name is Boobs. From Colombia. She uses Vicks for something else that I can't talk about in this space. But fun fact, there's other
PG rated. Keep this PG
there's
rated,
other,
okay,
there's
Omilli?
other
Come
uses that I
on.
never heard of.
Kids might be
So
listening.
yeah, exactly.
Stop it. Stop it,
But
man.
anyways, okay, welcome guys. Another episode ready for you guys with the bosses over at Fanable. Like I said in my little tweet, and I hope you guys saw this. Says this is a weekly masterclass in building a brand with your community, and I truly believe that's what we're doing between here and between virtual radio. The support that we get from the team and Sergio himself being a part of what we're trying to do, I think it really is a masterclass on how people can actually build something from the ground up. So, I don't know if you guys agree, but I'm with that 100%.
Thank you so
Um,
much.
Hey, no problem. So I will give people a bit more of a chance because I was supposed to give this thing like 24 hours, but we don't have that much time. I posted kind of late. But if you guys in here haven't seen the tweet above, please go to it now and follow the rules. It's very simple. All you have to do is like and retweet, right? That tweet. You're gonna comment something you'd like to accomplish this year. And I forget who someone just said. Actually, Ali Bro said I'd like to win a Fanable giveaway this year. So whatever your dream is for this year, a goal you want to accomplish, please be open and let us know, and we'll wish you all the best. So you go in there, you comment that, you like and retweet, and you just tag a friend. As long as you do that, you are in the running for a beautiful mystery case, courtesy of this space here. I'm going to read a couple of these. Phil, nice. We know Phil from the Vivi fam. He says, I'm going to sell all my stacked dollar comics on Vivi for 3x. Man, if some of those dollar comics can go to $3, $4, I will be happy as well. I have quite a few to get rid of.
That'd
Okay,
be amazing.
yeah, okay, let's burn them. Let us burn them for something. Duck and Cover says, I'd like to learn a bunch of useful everyday skills this year. Oh, that's dope. I'm not a
All
handyman
right.
at all, so I'm kind of with Duck and Cover. I need to learn a few things.
Well,
Okay.
AI is a useful skill, so maybe they can learn to use AI productively. Who knows?
You know what? Exactly. And man, I'm almost embarrassed to say how much I use AI now. It helps me. It helps me with so much stuff. I love it. I know some
It's a
people
game
are weird about
changer.
it. Yeah, to me, I love it. Nos Clint says in 2026, I'd like to add into my collection a Series 1 V Friends and a Vivi official gold and silver logo, man. Good luck. The
Ooh,
gold
the
logo is
golden
hanging
silver
around.
logo.
$5,000 in Omi, about 9,000 in sorry, nine.
Yours?
Yeah, in gems. Sorry, 9,000 in gems. No one's bought that, but
What?
yeah. The floor, the
Man,
floor's been kind of
I
crazy
sold too
lately.
early. I sold too early. I need
Oh,
to get
yours
it
did end up.
back.
Yours finally sold.
Yeah, mine sold, and but I was hoping it would crash back down because I thought it was gonna be
It
like
usually does.
exactly right because I know there was
Yeah,
hype being built, and I was like, okay, maybe this is the time to sell, and then I'll buy it when it goes back down. But that
mhm.
hasn't happened. Jeez,
Yeah, and
what is
that's
going
a
on?
whole different conversation because I think the Omi thing, like when you sold the miles for Omi, I think there's something there where it's gonna be hard for that price to drop really like under five, I think again, because some people do have the Omi and they're just waiting for it. And people don't want to sell it with gems as much anymore because you can't cash it out. So there's a very weird thing happening in the market. Um,
That's a good point, right?
yeah,
Because you
so it ends up
can't
being
cash
higher
out
priced.
gems.
It's way higher of a price in gems than it is in Omi, right?
Mm,
Because no one wants to get rid of it. Um,
interesting. Never thought about that.
yeah, man. Okay, let me get a couple more of these and then we'll get going. And thank you guys. And thank you for the happy Fanable Fridays in this space, man. You guys have really understand what I'm trying to do here. So I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Uh,
And by the way, I love seeing that PFP you have. It still looks as good as ever, man.
as last
It
week.
is the best PFP I've ever seen you have. Yep. Don't no
Thank you.
need to change it. I don't change mine. I don't see why you should too. I think you should just keep it.
Oh my gosh, that is so
Just
good.
keep
That
it,
is so
man.
good. Jam 92 said, I would like to just get healthier this year. I think that's a beautiful goal for you, Jam 92, and I hope you get your goal. Everyone, that should be everyone's goal, by the way. Make sure you
What
stay
was
healthy.
Jan's goal again?
He just wants to get healthier this year.
All right.
Yeah, maybe he's
So
eating too much
nothing Peach
McDonald's or
Momoko
something.
related or nothing.
No.
Not meet her in person. I
Oh,
wonder.
oh,
Has
John.
he met her
Oh,
in
sorry, that
person?
was Jam. Oh, do you mean John Lee? John
Oh,
says,
oops.
I'd like to fill this new cabinet out nicely. Work in progress. And his cabinet, I'll pin it up for the people. You guys gotta look because this guy got some grills in here. But yeah, of course you were right. He wants a bunch of Peach Momoko, more comics, I believe. So if you know John,
I
any,
wonder if he's met her in person.
I think in New York he may have. And he's in here, so whenever he's on lunch, I'm sure he'll pop up. I think because the one time she went to New York and then she never went back because those. I don't know if you. I think you were there too, Sergio. There was like a rumble because people were trying to get to her.
Oh, I
It was a
think
whole
you're talking
thing.
about that Spawn. I think she did a Spawn cover, and I guess people even fought over it.
I
You know, it
think that
was
was
such a
it.
big
I
scandal.
know it was one of the New York Comic Cons, and then I
Mm-hmm.
think since she's like hasn't gone back.
Man,
Well, you
but
can't
look
blame
at that
her.
display case that Jen
It's
has.
crazy, right?
My goodness, that looks great.
It's
Wow.
crazy. And oh, by the way, shout out to the people on YouTube who listen on YouTube, man. I gotta remember that.
Oh, by the way,
Mhm.
so we posted the Fanable Fridays YouTube link on Instagram stories and Facebook stories.
Oh wow.
So it'll take them to the YouTube one. And for those listening on YouTube, there's a giveaway specifically for YouTube listeners. Um, and it'll be similar to last week where you comment on the YouTube comment section, and one of those people will be selected to win a base kiosk booster pack. And then, of course, there's one for the Twitter listeners as well. Just the ones listening here.
Lovely.
I think so. D, I don't know if you have a chance. Do you have anything that they should comment, or what is the rule for the
For the YouTube.
YouTube listeners? Yeah.
Oh, I think last week we did hashtag Fanable Friday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then they can do that, and they have to comment in the chat section, and then
Chat section.
the
Okay.
picker, yeah, the YouTube, the Streamyard picker will pick it up.
Shout out to the StreamYard picker, by the way. It's always on point.
Perfect. There you have it, folks.
Now, Raven says, I would like to learn how to speak Spanish in 2026.
Wepa. There you go.
Shout out to you, Raven. I hope you can get it done. Yeah,
I
everyone's
wonder if
goals.
Raven is gonna go to Venezuela now that it's liberated.
You know what?
That Spanish
I,
will come in handy now.
yeah, I don't know if we have any. Do we have any Vivi fam in Venezuela? I don't know. I know Mexico for sure.
You know what's
Uh,
sad? I know I've seen
mhm.
Colombians for sure, but
Oh yeah,
Venezuelans, there's like 8 million Venezuelans had to leave the country over all the craziness that's been happening over the
yeah.
past like 27 years. And so they're kind of scattered all across the world.
That
It's
is
it's really
true.
sad. So I, for one, I'm happy that they'll have a chance at a real democracy there.
Well,
I don't want
hopefully,
to get too political, but yeah.
yeah. Hopefully. I don't believe any country with a bunch of resources, people should be poor and all that. So, I really don't like that.
Yeah,
But
wow.
yeah, yeah. Hopefully, all things work out. And shout out to any Venezuelan fam who, parents probably got away and came for a better life somewhere else. Okay, who do we have? Oh, George's in the house. Yo, Sparty's
Shout out
missing.
to Jordan. Where's
Damn,
Sparty? Sparty. I saw him on Fanable though. I know he's out there
damn yo.
in the platform.
Okay, but anyways, okay, let's get started here, Sergio, and we won't keep you, too long. Are you gonna have to do your meeting later today too, in an hour?
Yeah, we gotta do the meeting.
Ooh,
Yeah, I
and
mean,
then you're gonna rest.
and then I'm gonna try to rest. There's some things that we gotta take care of.
Yeah.
Going over the design for the auction feature. This will be like my third time I meet with his name is Andy. He's the one
Hmm.
that does all the front end design. So everything you see on the mobile and desktop versions he's the one that does the interface for that, right? But I have to meet with him because I'm kind of guiding him and how exactly I want things to look and the functionalities,
Hmm.
and even how the auction feature itself will work. So I'll meet with him hopefully one last time today, and then after that he hands it over to the two of the developers that'll work on actually implementing the auction feature. If everything goes like, you know, really good without any hiccups within 2 weeks, we're hoping that it'll be made available for users to actually utilize the auction feature. um, Very exciting because you'll be able to list your item, right? You can set a minimum, right? So it's kind of like a reserve auction if you want it that way. Otherwise, you can just set it at $1 starting point, and then people can bid up.
Hmm.
There'll also be a live chat section on the product page when you go there. um, and we're sticking with the same seller fees that we currently have based on levels. So if
Yeah.
you have, from 9 to 6%, so it really depends on how active you're on the platform. But yeah, and it'll be featured at the top of the homepage as well. So you'll see it by the one that's expiring the soonest is the
Hmm.
one that you'll see first. Um,
Okay.
Oh, and
Okay. Okay.
you'll also need to pre-authorize. We're doing the eBay model where you have to pre-authorize a card
Hmm.
before once you make a bid. So the way it'll work, um, just like eBay, right? When you
Yeah.
win an auction, you pre-authorize them to charge your account if you win the auction. So we're doing the same exact thing. We explored other ways, like we looked at how Heritage Auctions does it. They have like a
Hmm.
20% buyer's premium they charge, and then they invoice you. None of it is automated. Um, but I think the eBay approach will work better for Fanable.
Okay, okay, okay,
Mhm.
okay, dope. And as far as just the app update, as far as like everything working correctly, any hiccups lately we've heard of, just so people know.
Yeah, a couple of things. Well, we were supposed to actually release a new app update Wednesday, and then we were hoping to have it pushed out live yesterday, but Apple didn't approve it until like
Ooh,
overnight. Like they
yeah.
approved the new update. Technically, we can push it today, and I discussed that with Jacob. He's like our the dev coordinator. And so, but if we do that, most of our developers are in Europe, which is like 6 hours ahead. So right now here it's 12:27, there is 6:27,
Yeah.
and if there's anything that breaks, um, they won't be able to fix it until Monday. And we do have a backup there for emergencies, but we try not to put ourselves in a position where we need to do that, right? Um, so we're gonna push it Monday, first thing Monday morning. The new app is gonna be pushed, which is what's gonna allow us to open up the secret kiosk again. As you know, last time we did the secret kiosk, there was an issue where some users were able to buy more than the five limit, right?
Oh,
This
okay.
app, this update will fixes that, right? So
Hmm.
it'll fix that, and also new features. So for the first time, we'll be able to um, uh, do push notifications. Not the standards one you currently get, but any communication we want to get out to our users. Up until this point, we've had to rely solely on social media, right? We push it on Twitter and Facebook and
Very
YouTube
true.
and all that. But with this app update, any communication we want to put out there, we'll be able to push it out to you directly. It's not based on events. It's literally whatever communication we want to push out there, we'll be able to do it. The same thing with Google Pay and Apple Pay. There'll be a restocking update. So beginning Monday, when the new app goes live, when we're restocking a kiosk, it won't be removed from the page. You'll just see the status change to restocking, right? So that way you'll know that it's in the process of being restocked and it doesn't just
Oh,
disappear. Yeah. Although there's a cooldown timer because
yes.
apparently, I mean, my understanding is apparently we did implement the cooldown feature, but now what'll you'll actually see right there on the product page a countdown timer that'll make the buy now button live because it grays it out, right? And you'll start seeing the countdown timer, and then the when the cooldown period is over, it'll the buy now button will just display. Kind of like remember how Vivi back in the days when things would sell out in a heartbeat and you had to
Yeah.
sit there and wait for the button to appear,
For the
right?
rebound. Yep.
Yeah, for the rebound, right? Same
Hmm.
exact thing for us, right? So you'll see when you can go ahead and press again.
Okay, that's because right now you literally just going out of the screen and coming back later and hoping it's back. The people didn't really know exactly how long to
Yeah,
wait or
you're not
anything.
exactly.
Oh,
You're not sort of aware of
yeah.
when that time is up. But now you'll be able to see it right on the page.
Okay, 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 okay. Okay, we do have no money dot root here. I'm not sure if they wanted to say something. Hopefully, they didn't come up by mistake. No money. What's up?
Yeah. Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for letting me up.
Yes, sir.
Long time listener, first time on stage. But Sergio was talking about eBay auctions, and that's why I jumped in. I have been highly involved in eBay auctions recently, buying, not selling, but wanted to inquire: is like auctions something that Fanable's planning on?
Oh
Is that
yeah,
something you guys are looking to do?
absolutely. Yeah, we're developing that as we speak. As I mentioned earlier, I have the third meeting now with the designer for the interface, and we're hoping to have it published and go live in about 2 weeks. So you will have auctions on Fanable. That's underway.
And will they be live, like a similar to Whatnot or eBay Live? I mean, because eBay Live was later than Whatnot. Whatnot changed the game. So are you guys doing that too, like the
N-
Whatnot type of styling,
No,
or just more auctioning?
the only live element to it is the chat feature. So you'll be able to, as the seller or potential buyers, as long as you log in, you'll be able to chat live on the auction. But there won't be a live element in terms of having someone on video talking about the product or anything like that. But it'll be a live chat feature instead.
All right, wonderful, wonderful. Thanks for the information. That's a really cool idea. You guys are advancing quickly. Much appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you. No, thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah, we're excited. I think a lot of people will put that to use.
Hmm.
And when you go to the market place tab, you'll see auctions included along with the traditional marketplace listings, right? Where you can make an offer or it's set at a fixed price. And it'll be the same sort of logic where if you have an auction item that's expiring soon, you'll see that at the very top, right? And next to a newly listed item, right? Because that's the current logic is that the latest listed, the most recently listed marketplace item is what you see first, right? So now you'll see both. Once we implement auction, you'll see both auction items expiring soon and newly listed items. But auctions will also get a lot of visibility on the home page. That will be the first row that you'll see once it's implemented. So we're gonna sort of make sure that it gets visibility because with auctions, that's a big factor, right? That people are aware of the auction.
Love that. And no money, please feel free to hang out, man. Anything you want to add on or any ideas you have, this is a place. So please feel free. We're going to jump to John
Thank you,
real
man.
quick. Yeah, man. Jump to John, probably on lunch, and then we can keep going. What's up, John?
How do you know I had a salad in my mouth? Okay, I stopped chewing. Happy New Year to everybody. Hey, Sergio, I hope you're feeling
Happy
better,
New
man.
Year.
Like, we'll try to. I'll try not to marathon this thing to prevent you having to speak too much. But I came up because Nomani had a great question, and I'm gonna jump on that for a second. Um, let's. I mean, this is just hypothetical, but D's up here. Hello, D. Uh, True Media Group is always looking for fun new content, especially when it comes to shows, right? So let's say, because I mean I know True Media has the capability of having multiple windows up, including ones that are coming from like a desktop or something of that nature. What if on YouTube, a live show on YouTube, they have like uh, a period within their hour where they highlight auctions that are in
Mm.
play, in flight, or you can actually even time it during the timing of the show where they will expire during the show. So you could be like, okay, here's our 2 minute warning. This one's coming up. Rando person, obviously not affiliated with True Media Group or anything, but just like a fun one. And then like let's follow the progress. So that will put a huge spotlight on people who tend to time it for the closure of that. So it almost acts as a pseudo live auction because you're following the action real time. And I don't know if you know this or not, but a lot of comic book influencers and collector influencers do that for heritage auctions. They follow it, live feed on things that hit the market, and then they comment on it on YouTube while it's actually happening and until the gavel hits. And then they opine upon it and go, oh my God, can you imagine? Like, wow, what are the implications of this price? Or wow, can you believe it went for that? And and then they have like a little discussion on it. So that could serve three purposes in my mind. One, obviously, is great for true media, with different kind of media. Second is, of course, it might give more visibility on auctions. The seller would be very happy, and the app as well, because they get it protected. But here's another, which is you guys then can discuss like the book. You know what I mean? And then you'll be like, wow, I wonder why this got such a big, like for instance, you were talking last week about Absolute Batman #1 Cover Away, and that how it was $60 last fall, and now it's $450 this year, right? And you'll be like, oh
Wild.
my God, it's crazy that this auction went for this, which is reflective of the secondary market. This is really amazing. We should talk about what the heck is going on in terms of the trend, right? So all that could be, implemented because you added this new function. So it's not just internally serving, secondary marketplace action. It could actually be really good for social media as well, and exposure for the content of what is being sold, but also for the vehicle of Fanable providing that to people, right? So all that was just kind of off the top of my head when I was hearing No Money ask the question, which was a really good question.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, obviously, True Media will have to decide how they approach that. The one thing I can tell you is that with heritage auctions, they are in control of the timing. In other words, with heritage, you send in your collectible to them, and then they have an auction that they advertise, and they expire one by one on a specific day, right? Where they set it up. With ours, users have control over when they list it, for how long they list it, and obviously when it expires. The most will be 6 days. So you can list your item for auction up until 6 days ahead of time. And I know 6 days seems kind of random, right? Because initially we wanted to do 1 week, but apparently the way that Stripe has it set up, or however it works, is that if with Visa, Mastercard, American Express, Discover, you can do a pre-authorization up until 7 days ahead of time, right? So because of that, we have to kind of set the limit for the auctions to 6 days ahead to avoid any kind of crossover or the pre-authorization not going through when somebody wins a bid. So I can tell you that right now, it'll be you can do 1, 3, 5, and 6 days ahead of time when you list the item for auction. So obviously that determines whether or not True Media can just set a certain time to do these, right? But certainly, even if let's say an auction expires later that day, but their show might have been a few hours before the auction expires, I don't see, I think that might work too, right? They can still get some covers perhaps, but I'll let D or someone from True Media maybe give an opinion if they have one.
Yeah, because it could be two different ways, right? Because I thought another one. But let's stay on the True Media for a second. They could absolutely advertise saying we would love to spotlight your auctions if you uh, set the timing that it expires during our show after 6 days.
Mm.
Like we can set like we can have like 6 days in advance where we can discuss it with you and make sure that that thing gets the attention that it deserves, right? So that could happen in the ramp up to the live, right? But there's also a more
Mm.
passive one, which is what Sean does over at Comes in Crypto. And what he will do is like weeks in advance, he will be like, guys, this is the important piece. Follow it, at your own discretion. I'm not going to do a live show on it or anything like that, but I'm letting you know this is a big one, right? And then after it hits, not during live and not during the gobble, but after, then like he will have like a show, entire show talking about, oh my God, can you believe that Superman just sold for $9.3 million? You know what I mean? So Comics and Crypto also does auction related material because auctions tend to give you the most up to date valuation on a collectible, right? Or kind of state of the nation, so to speak, of what's happening on any particular secondary market. So I think it could be more active, like what True Media Group focuses on, or it could be more passive, like what Comics and Crypto does. But there's a lot of possible ways that auctions now can enhance the social media footprint of what happens on Fanable.
Very true. No, I agree. I think this certainly introduces a new dynamic to even staying on the app, right, and going and checking it out. And the fact that we're adding that live chat element, I think, also helps keep it interactive. But yeah, no, it'll be interesting. We'd love to see if that's something True Media can cover during their show. But yeah, I'm getting the thumbs up from D, so it looks like they might be on board um, to some capacity. Great suggestion, Jan. You always get these great ideas.
No,
Yeah.
I'm just piggybacking off of no money.
What's up, D?
All of that is doable. Yes, it's all possible.
Beautiful.
That's awesome.
And I just want to remind people because I understand some people are at work. So if you are at work and do have a suggestion or a question, anything like that, please ask it in the comments below. I will also read that out to the team. We have Jam 92. But yeah, if you're free or if you're like John and you want to hide away in the closet somewhere, you can feel free to come up here and say hello.
I'm at lunch.
That was a throwback, John, to back in the day. For the new auctions, will the items being sold need to be in the Fanable vault or in their
Yes.
possession, or will it be buyer to buyer?
It has to be in the vault.
Hmm.
That's kind of what underpins our entire platform, right? That we
Hmm.
have collectibles that we've already verified, that are secured, insured, and that we can stand behind. I mean, for context, right? If you look at platforms like StockX, right, where you can list anything, right, any collectible sneakers or whatever, but you have to send them your item. They validate it and then they send it to the buyer, right? So you, as a seller, you can list an item from your home, but if it sells or when it sells, you have to ship it out to StockX and then they go ahead and ship it out to the buyer, right? With us, what underpins sort of our value proposition, right, is that everything you see on Fanable, is secured. It's been scanned and validated by us. So yeah, it'll only be items that are on the platform. Of course, you can send in. Keep in mind, you can send in your collectible to Fanable for free. We cover shipping. We don't charge anything for scanning, for insurance, for storage. And so you could, we'll go, you can list that item
Mhm.
once it arrives and it's in your profile.
And you know
So
what,
I guess you
Sergio?
can. Yeah, the answer is sort of yes, but
Yeah,
you have to send it in, right? So we can
yeah.
scan it.
And it's a good reminder, just because we've been here so long, and it's a lot of the same people that come to the spaces, so they all know. But I'm starting to see a bunch of newer people come around, so we need to remind them all these little nuances of edible. So yes, if you do have something fire, send that in. Please send that in. They'll take care of the rest. My guy Sloppy is back. I think he was fighting chickens, but he's free now.
I had to make a phone call. Work stuff got in the way.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. Okay. Anybody else with a question in the crowd?
Sure.
Shoot it over. But yeah,
If,
no, it's
if
okay, John. I was just reading the comments, but you're good. You're good. There's none.
Okay. First of all, I wanted to say, since Slops is on the line, hey, I really appreciate you. Like, and no pun intended, like, being bothered by my hen pecking all week. Like, we're getting close to the finish line.
John, you're a
11,
married man.
11 of the 12 of my comics have been vaulted at this point. We're just waiting for the 12. Slops even checked out this morning. It's going to get across the finish line. And once it does, man, we're going to have like a nice bunch of comic books that are going to be hitting those, kiosks, hopefully after the Fanable offers, and we get that squared away. So yeah, we're only one away, and then I'll just do them in bulk, and I'll just send it over. So I want to say that has been really helpful. And Slops, on Discord, guys, if you don't know, he is like the mod supreme over there, and so he is very helpful and being very responsive. So I know we're here on X right now, but Discord really is a great place to go if you need to have any like on the spot communication with anything having to do with animal. Slops is the guy, right? Um, the second thing I wanted to bring up had to do with Slops, and it totally slipped my mind what I was going to say. So I will defer because I was giving him praises and I forgot my question. So I'll be right back.
No worries. And actually, I don't want to forget, Slaps, do you still have that thing with cryptoids today?
Yes, sir. At 1 o'clock. So in about an hour 15.
In an
Yeah.
hour
I
and
just
15
remembered.
minutes?
Yeah.
Yes,
Do
sir.
do you have let me ask you something. Do you have a link that maybe Omilli can
Yeah.
post on here? That
It
way people know about
it's
it?
gonna be in their. I'll link their Discord. It's gonna be in their Discord.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right.
Okay. I
So yeah,
totally
if you want to
remembered.
DM that, and maybe Omilli can post
I
it.
would. I will definitely link it up top.
So
All
yeah,
right.
so Slaps is gonna be in a sort of a Cryptoys live event on their Discord. Actually, Slaps, are you able to kind of give us a gist of what that'll be about?
I haven't really participated in these shows, but it's their earliest weekend show. Maybe I know Dee's I think been in them, and the True Media Group's been in them, but I don't know what I'm expecting. I'm kind of going in there blind.
It's a fun
Oh,
show. Yeah, it's kind of like off the cuff kind of thing, but it's just to hang out and have a good time. It's not like it's like a no pressure kind of show. But I think you'll enjoy it.
I'm
nice,
looking
nice.
forward to it.
And just for some context, Slaps is a big Cryptoys, fan and collector. So
Oh hell
it's
yeah!
exciting that he'll be featured in that community.
It's my
Nice.
second favorite community after Fanable.
Ah, look at you should run
Look
for
at
office. That's the most diplomatic
that.
answer.
It's
That's
what
the best
side his bread
answer,
is buttered
Slops.
on.
Best answer.
Oh, that was good. That was
Man, you
good.
sound like a politician, Slops.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, I am the
Man,
community manager, aren't I?
that's right. Yes. Slaps is the community manager. So he holds it down. He keeps a lot of. He's even reached out to the Facebook people as well. But yeah, thanks for all you do.
Hell yeah. Okay.
Oh,
Where are we at now?
I did
John, you do
remember
have it?
Millie. Yes.
Yeah.
So it's also on the auctions because the question that came from the audience having to do with asking about ownership status for auctions, it reminded me of possibly the origins of the question, which is uh, if you get a Pokemon card or a sports card, whatever it is, graded on PSA, you can have it vaulted in PSA, but when you want to auction it, even though it stays in the PSA vault, they basically give you a consignment mechanism, but it's actually auctioned on eBay, right? So it reaches this gigantic audience. And so, and also to a lesser extent, Upper Deck also does that with the cards and comics they vault over on ePack slash Collect Forever because those can be listed on a secondary auction marketplace called the Authority. So
Mm.
there's possibilities of items still remaining vaulted where where they're nice and safe and comfy and all that, but at the same time still be kind of ported out for potential secondary sale places that are not within the ecosystem of where it is vaulted, right? So I gave you two examples of that. So maybe an extension of the audience question is even though you're getting up and running the Fanable auction, mechanism within the app itself, are there any plans, even while things are still in possession of the Fanable Vault or the Brinks Vault, are there any possibilities to also have that kind of cross listed to outside secondary marketplaces, or even on a consignment basis onto places like eBay and so forth?
That's such a valid, question. Like, and just to kind of piggyback off of what you just said, um, GameStop, they have a vaulted feature, but it's done through PSA Vault. And so on GameStop, when you participate in their, what do they call it, power packs or something like that, you can choose to list it on eBay directly from the platform without leaving the platform. And that's something that would be so we want to certainly explore it. I think it'll be very beneficial, right? Because you're giving Fanable users a more visibility with their products. So it'll probably take some time. I've thought about that. I did bring it up to the developers. That's something that we'd have to finalize a lot of the current sort of priorities that we have before we can go into that. But it would be phenomenal if we're able to do that, right? Where you can kind of cross post items from Fanable onto a platform like eBay. And that's already happening with other platforms. So it's not, I mean, even AltXYZ does that where you can sort of see eBay listings. And they even have AltXYZ has an eBay seller's profile, right? So it's something that's already being done by other platforms similar to us here at Fanable, but um, we'll have to look into how we implement that in a way that makes sense. But I agree that would be very beneficial for Fanable collectors.
And like you said, because the mechanism is already, infrastructure is already set in place on the eBay side, and eBay probably would be very welcoming of it because why wouldn't they want to have someone who would come on, like you said, it could just be listed as one individual new seller, which is Fanable, but like tons of new listings would come under that one seller because we would be bringing everything, from their app over to eBay that is listed for secondary, right? So, and also that could be a very interesting way to get exposure without having to say have your own booth at like New York Comic Con because you could just be a special guest over at the eBay booth, right? So, and I know last year Whatnot did a little of that as well, right? Where they have kind of cross collabs. If you went to the gift shop, they would have kind of like partners, either have signing events or like merch that was selling there that was associated with their platform. Over on eBay, they did that in past years as well, and it could be an interesting way to kind of highlight your presence on their marketplace, while at the same time, of course, getting interest on what's happening over on the other front. There's a lot of fun, collab things that could happen as a result, but it just depends. Like and so that also gives an encouraging thing to whether or not the internal new auction mechanism either takes off, gets traction, goes bonkers, or if it doesn't, it doesn't even matter really. All it is kind of like a first foray to look into it, and it doesn't say, okay, we have to stick with this forever. There are other options, like you said, other competitors who use other options where you could look into and say, okay, well, maybe it's best that we outsource this. We let eBay come to the fray and do what they do best, and help leverage, on behalf of our customers, right? So yeah, there's a lot of possibilities there. But yeah, again, this is all coming from that great question from money. So that's what Fanable Friday spaces are all about. So I'm glad that question was asked, and from the audience as well about storage during auctions.
Now you know what? And I remember bringing this up a couple of months ago to our devs because I did see that, and what prompted it really was the GameStop those power packs that they have, and then I saw that Alt XYZ is also listing stuff on eBay, and they're very similar, to what we do, right? And I'm looking at their eBay right now, and I mean, they've sold 29,000 items on there. So if they're doing it, I know that we can do it. So it's just a matter of looking into the. I'll get. I'm gonna bring this up to the list of things we need to really focus on because I agree that would be a huge boost to our users to be able to not only list on Fanable but also cross listing on eBay. And certainly, if GameStop and Alt XYZ are doing it, then of course we can. So, all right, man. No, really, I appreciate it. We're gonna look into this and push this through.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, no
No, thank
money.
you, Jan. Thank you.
We're gonna go to no money, and then we got some YouTube questions. What's up, no money?
Loving this conversation about eBay cross pollination. That is a very useful thing if you can get that situated. And before my questions, just want to give a shout out to Bildo below and Matt Hughes comic. Matt Hughes was who put me on Fanable. So thank you for that, Matt Hughes. And Bildo is a good friend from another project.
Oh, I was gonna ask you if you obviously
Shout
Bildo
out.
from the Root fam. Okay,
Yeah,
shout
yeah,
out to
from
my
Root.
guy Bildo, man.
That's where I come from. Well, that's I come from my mother's.
Easy,
Telling,
no money,
but
easy. Family show,
almost got a little
family
bit,
show.
almost got a little bit deep there. Anyway, to get to the questions, or suggestions. The first is Go Collect. I know, I think that's the name of it. It gives you some
It is. It's Go Collect.
valuations. Yeah. Is there maybe an idea of like sort of trying to set up a valuations model that to help collectors, know what the value of their collections are prior to them putting them up for auction or putting them up for sale. I know that's a subscription model, so that kind of value add would be useful. So that was a suggestion and or a question. And then my second, before you respond, uh, any thoughts on ungraded comics? I have a lot of more recent comics that aren't graded, and the only reason they're not graded, they're great comics and very pristine. collection. But CGC takes what, a year and a half these days to get anything graded and get back. So just wanted to know if there's any thoughts on ungraded comics, and if Fanable is looking to expand somewhere, some way, somehow into that.
Really good question. So regarding Gold Collect, we that's who we use to reference the value of the comic books that we list on there, or that we stock in our kiosks, right? One thing to keep in mind is that they can be outdated because we only enter the fair market value at the point in which we get the comic, right, and we stock it. We have thankfully gotten some users who sent in like, hey, this item should be, have a fair market value of this amount. And of course, there's arbitrage, right? If you see Absolute Batman, um, that's a comic that just went through the roof in value, right? And that I think a few people got a really great deal because um, it hadn't caught up to the realities of the current market, right? Where it was 80, $90 a year ago, and now it's like $400 for cover A, right? And I did look at the other covers. They're not doing as good as cover A for, it's wild because you see these variant covers of Absolute Batman and these foil covers and that are even more limited and scarce. But cover A, even though the supply is way higher, it's beating all of them. It's doing great in the secondary. So we Go Collect actually has an API that they released last year. Um, we want to integrate that so that for our benefit and also for the users' benefits to be able to see the most up to date fair market value in the collectibles. It goes back to sort of our list of priorities, right? Right now, our list is Apple Pay, Google Pay, global shipments, right? The auctions feature. That even just now when Jan brought that up regarding the eBay sort of cross listing, that should also be a priority. But certainly, um, integrating the Go Collect API into our system so that you can see the latest fair market values is something that we are going to be doing. It's a matter of where on the list does it fall. And while we're on that, I think I should break this really. It's 1 o'clock and we'll be wrapping up the show here soon. But there's big news that you should all be aware of that's coming up. We're migrating as of the end of this month. We will not mint on Epic blockchain anymore. So you won't see any. We're migrating away from Epic and moving into the base blockchain. There'll be a 3 to 5 day sort of shutdown of the marketplace because we have to remint all of our collectibles during migration and making sure everything goes smooth. So just I don't want to forget about that because that's the thing that we're currently working on, and it's also obviously the top priority as well.
Wow.
Um, yeah, yeah,
Base
yeah.
is where it's at, man. Shout out to you guys, and maybe we should have had a convo. You guys suck at bringing people up. Maybe we should have had a convo with Doctor Collect because down the line you might want to have a Doctor a Collect chain. I don't know if you heard what's happening there, but maybe that's a convo for later. But yeah, with Doctor Profit, that'll be a nice little thing for you guys to also see if they're building something you might be interested in. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Sergio.
No, no, that's a good point, and I see that they're doing such great things with Vivi,
Hmm.
and I don't know. I guess once we move to base, I don't know unless we can. I mean, is there a way to work with the collect sort of blockchain, but still remain on
Yeah,
base?
I think Collect Chain is like a sister chain of Base, so I think it'll be very, yeah, everything will be
Mm.
easy there.
Oh,
But yeah,
really?
but I'm in so many projects that I've actually moved over to Base. That's why I'm bullish on that. They're really building over there. So good stuff.
Interesting. Okay. I
Hmm.
mean, if it doesn't, because the decision has already been made about migrating
Hmm.
to base, but if there's a way to work with collect,
Hmm.
that would be really cool. That'd
Yeah,
be really cool.
and go to matches real quick. I'll be right back. Someone's on my door.
Yes. Hmm.
Hi, what up, guys? How y'all doing?
Hey, Matthews.
Hey, y'all summoned me. So that absolute Batman, the ones that you sold on the site, I think I sold them for like $58. So
Wow.
like,
Wow.
but when you're like a friend or something, and hey, I want an offer. I'm not looking at solds on eBay or any of that stuff. I'm looking at what it cost me and a little tiny bit of profit. And yeah, I sold like a ton of absolute Batman to just about everybody on the site. For a pretty good deal. So it's cool. And the reason I did it was I wanted to kind of sow community. I think that people selling back and forth, trading, and doing all that stuff is really what, as collectors, we should all be kind of about. I understand the flipping and reselling. I get it. I love it. I'm doing it on eBay, which transitions back to Absolute Batman. Come on, Fanable. You need to refresh your site, baby. There's some of us that like modern comics. And I'm looking through there trying to buy absolutes, and there ain't nothing on there for sale, let alone in your inventory. And that stuff's flying up, and you're about to get priced out. We gonna see any spice up on there, Slops? Slops still out.
Spice.
Oh, that's up to Sergio on what he wants to give me to stock
You
up
better
with.
do it now. I sold 5 books in the last week, 3 foils of Batman 1, and an annual and a Nor for $500, baby. And I bought them all for like
Wow. Wow.
$40. So this stuff is flying. I think it'd be cool to have a modern, maybe a modern kiosk of like 150 comics. I bet you people would go crazy for that. I know I would.
Oh, I completely agree. I mean, we did recently stock some Absolute Martian Manhunter
Ooh,
comics that we've added there last week, and there's Absolute Flash, Absolute Superman.
yeah,
I mean,
those,
we did have, and I know actually you
yeah,
provided
that's
a
what
lot
I'm
of
saying.
the.
Yeah, those are my
Say
test
again?
runs. I sold those at like cost. I think just about pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolute. The absolute line in general is just on fire. My favorite series is actually Absolute Martian Manhunter. Just beautiful writing, and I think the art goes very well with that particular storytelling and way of storytelling. But yeah, no, we've added. It's just that people like to keep them, right, because they're hot. And we'll continue to add more of those absolute lines. I agree. We could.
I,
You can never have too many of those.
I still think that if you all add an eBay link to the site itself, and we can just directly sell on eBay, you could bring in so many customers because there's so many inexpensive graded pieces out there for sale. You just don't have enough people seeing them. I've been buying and redeeming like crazy. You know,
Absolutely. No, and someone who was it that brought that up? No money, right?
yeah.
He talked about the eBay. No, wait, it was Jan, right? Jan mentioned about the eBay thing, and I'll be bringing that up again at the today's team call, because certainly Alt XYZ and GameStop Power Packs are doing it. I don't see why we couldn't do this. I mean, we can, right? So it's about seeing where it falls on the list
I,
of priorities. But I
I would
agree,
love
it
to
would
send in
add.
100 more slabs and then link them to eBay and put my onboarding code with it, and then watch you guys get tons of people coming in, users. The graphics are the way you guys have everything displayed is beautiful, and you can't, a picture on a scan is great, and that's good to add, but that digital piece that you add, I mean, hey, oh no, I'm not trying to send slabs in. I'm not. This ain't the long con where I talk about something and say, hey, I got something to send in. Just suggesting.
No, absolutely. Yeah, I think we need to really look into integrating eBay because at the end of the day, eBay that's the biggest player in the space, if not bigger. When it comes to the collectibles marketplace, it doesn't get any bigger than that. When you go to the New York Comic Con, they have a massive booth there. I mean, I'll call it more like a city block there, where they understand that this is a big part of their business, a big part of their customer base, and there are certainly advantages to listing on there, and we don't need to treat it as competition,
No,
right?
that's
Certainly,
make it
GameStop doesn't do it, and Alt XYZ doesn't look at it as competition. If
it's
anything, it
advertising.
complements what
Free
they're
marketing.
doing. Yeah.
Every one of us that posts on eBay is free marketing advertising for y'all. It's somebody seeing that beautiful sticker F going, wow, I wonder what that's about. I like that. That's cool. I look at the prices too, because your prices are dope. The way everything's priced, it's realistic. But anyways, I got to go, man. Nice talking to you.
Thank you, Matthews, and I agree. And thanks for what you've done from day one to really help the platform grow. So much appreciated.
Nah, man, you guys are awesome. Love y'all.
Thanks, brother.
Thank
Peace.
you.
John.
I just wanted, I mean, because I am going to toot my own horn, I just put in a little comment box in the corner there. There is an Absolute Batman #1 cover A, double signed by Nick Dragotta and Scott Snyder. That is going to come through the shoot once that 12th one comes through. And that is going to, after the Fanable Opera, go into the kiosks, right? So I mean, they are stocking up these things, and hopefully they're getting good books, to put in there. Hopefully, I'm selective enough where I choose some good ones. But
Oh, we're gonna get all of the ones that you submitted for
it,
sure. So
it'll
yeah.
be awesome. Yeah, I'm totally looking forward to doing that. Yeah, we're just waiting for that 12. And Sergio, I wanted to double back to what you were saying and what somebody else was saying about the cover A's. People now, unlike Marvel, what DC does is that they give you a real cover A underneath the variant covers. It even has the UPC barcode. So if you rip off the variant cover, you will actually have a cover A, and there's nothing to change. It's just zero difference. So what people on Reddit have been saying is that they've said, I just bought this on eBay. They said it was a cover A. I spent hundreds for it and everything like that. But when I look at it, underneath the staple, you can see that there's paper left over from the variant cover that they ripped off. And they're like, I wouldn't have a problem with that, except they were messy with the ripping off. And so the staple pulled away from the cover A. And so it's not in 9.8 condition anymore. And I'm really mad, right? But that's what people are doing now. They pay double, triples, sometimes 50 times more, for a variant cover, but it still pales in comparison to the current markup of the cover A for Absolute Batman. I mean, no one's ever seen this before. I don't know if I've seen this in modern era ever for a cover A. I've seen it for very scarce things like the Uniqlo, Spider-Man, and all that stuff, but not for a cover A. Like you said, Sergio, they made tons of these, right? Like 60,000 of them, right? But there's so much demand that there isn't enough out there to support the demand. So they're literally destroying variant covers in order to put more cover A's out there on the market, and they're getting instantly snapped up. So I mean, I don't blame you at all for what it used to cost you and what you priced it then, not reflecting on currently, and which is another reason why an API is such a great idea in order to keep up with current prices. I mean, like my shoes, I sold a cover A for $60 in October of last year. That was foolish of me, because now it's it's like $350 raw and above $450 slab. So it's just, we have not seen this before, and we're right in the middle of it. And it's actually a really great time to be in physical comic books and graded comic books, because there is a resurgence. I think it went up 30% on the re-rise of DC. I wouldn't even call it re-rise, the rise, because DC's always been behind Marvel. It's always been number 2, but now it's number 1. And no one's seen this before. And it's really...
Yeah, who would have thought, right? Because
Yeah.
DC lost its lead back in the 80s, and Marvel has never looked back.
Never, especially since the MCU started to coincide with the comic books. I mean, it's been just like a generational run for Marvel, but people are saying now the run's over, and DC has absolutely taken first place at this point. And I mean,
Absolutely, you
yeah,
said, and no pun intended, right?
right. That was even subconscious. But what my truth says is correct, which is even if and by the way, I slightly disagree with him because I feel like there's enough modern book representation within throughout all tiers of the kiosk currently. But if you ever do decide to have a kiosk, let's say a modern kiosk, copper kiosk, silver kiosk, golden kiosk, according to each age, I wouldn't be against that. But I almost feel like it's not necessary because you can find great beginner tier value and all the way up to like whale tier value in every single age of comic book, right? So, and you've proven that actually, right? Even in the golden age, you could take like one page in NG grade, and people will still want it, even though the market rate for that is, let's say, $250. Versus if you bought the whole book, it would cost you like $450,000, right? So yeah, there's I kind of like the kiosks as they are, which is to give you nice representation across all ages, depending on price point, and you get what you pay for or more at those price points, right? So, but yeah, that's just a slight difference in opinion. I kind of backing what you're doing on the kiosk versus what's happening on the Pokemon side, where it makes a lot of sense that okay, pretty much all the CGC slabs are going to be in like the $15 kiosk, but then you're going to get your PSA 10s and like that kind of things in like the fire kiosk, right? That makes a lot of sense to me as well,
Precisely.
because of the nature of how the values are set in the card industry versus how you see like a very mature comic book market address different types of graded collectibles, right? So yeah, and that is my 2 cents.
Thank you. And I did want to. I don't want to forget about the question that the second part to Nomani's question, which is raw comics, right? Ungraded. We don't have any plans to. I'll be quite frank to ever do that, and it has unless I don't know. Look, unless we're at a point that our resources are big enough to accommodate that type of sort of format. And what you'd have to think about from our perspective, right? We have a system and a process in place where we rely on these books being authenticated so that people, buyers, right, have the confidence of saying, well, CGC, PSA, SGC, CBCS, any of these authenticating entities, that what you see is what you get. When you start getting into raw comics or cards, right? That opens it up to so much potential for abuse, right? Where somebody might list it as a brand new comic, and if for whatever reason it's not in the condition that the buyer expected it to be, ultimately the ones that are going to have to step in and say, yeah, we'll eat the cost for that is going to be us, right? So I'm not sure if we're built to be able to do raw comics or raw cards, and even in the foreseeable future, it's not something that I see, because it does open it up to so much potential of disagreements, right, between a buyer and a seller, and even how they pack it when they ship it, right? I mean, even now we have to deal with cracked comics and cards that arrive at our facility, or even when they get redeemed, right? Sometimes when they get redeemed, they arrive cracked and we have to eat the cost, or even when they get shipped right, to us. And I think one of Jan's comics was cracked
That's
that I
correct.
received. But we have to eat, we have to eat the cost to that, right? I can't imagine what it would be like for us to have to eat the cost for raw comics for any little, the corner is bent, and when the picture was taken, it wasn't shown that way, and then we have to be the middleman. And for us right now, I don't think we have the ability to sort of provide that kind of service at this point.
Yeah, I'll give you a perfect example, and I just put it up in the commentary in the bottom right. You see a picture. I really only have one physical card that is graded from PSA. It's a PSA 10. I literally just bought it, and and the reason why I bought it is I don't think it's something Fanable would sell. It's a K-pop photo card, right? But the reason why I got it was this of a very popular kind of character holding a very popular license, officially licensed, right? It was like Captain Pikachu's plushie, whatever. It's heavily copied and frauded, right? And like there's fake copies all over the place. It's very hard to find a real one. So when I went on eBay, what did I do? I went to the PSA vault, and then because I had full trust and guarantee that this is a graded card, it's authenticated, it's in perfect condition, and it's currently being held by a company that I know is not often knows where they're trying to scam me, right? So that's and I paid like a 30% premium for that card because of that, right? So and I think we just discussed, many the fact that people are ripping off the variant covers off of the cover A's of the Absolute Batman #1, to not to get one over on people, but it's not exactly what you thought you were buying, right? It didn't come off the rocks as cover A. And part of the reason why a mint cover A is worth so much is because it's not cardstock, right? So it's very difficult to actually find a true mint cover A of Absolute Batman #1 because they're usually wavy or and actually the ink transfer is very easy to transfer off of there and everything like that. And you avoid that if you have a variant cover kind of cardstock protecting that until the time of selling it, right? So, but because it's not graded, it's a crapshoot. When you try to buy as a buyer on a secondary and just are trying to catch every little thing that you can about a raw, but you still might get it wrong, right? Because you never know who you're buying it from. So that's how come I kind of agree with Fanable that it should remain graded only in order to reduce the amount of heartbreak, hassle, and all that kind of stuff when it comes to buying on the secondary.
Yeah. I expected that answer. As a business owner and an app developer myself, I knew that wasn't a short-term plan. It was maybe I didn't pose that question properly. Maybe there's always a 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 5 year, 10-year plan. Maybe the question would be like, hey, do you have long-term goals to maybe even start an authentication service, being CGC? It does take a year and a half. It's freaking insanity. And I am quite familiar with the fraud on eBay. I've been I've been a victim of it myself. I recently bought some coins on there that happen to be some fakes. But at least they're still silver, so I could still melt them down. So I didn't lose any money, to be quite frank. But no, I do respect that answer, and was more posing a question for long-term plans. Maybe it is a possibility, grow into an eBay for comics and Pokemon cards, with the caveat of having an authentication service in-house. So just sort of more throwing it out there as a long-term possibilities.
Thank you. No, and actually, that same question was brought up when we initially launched, right? I can tell you that Arena Club, right, which is we view them as a competitor as well, but they authenticate their. They had I don't know if they keep doing it still, but they certainly had an authentication service where you send in your card and they authenticated them, right? I think they might. I know they had huge, and we have some big investors ourselves, right? But I think because from the outset they sort of set themselves up that way, it kind of worked, but it also comes to this idea of how much does, for example, a buyer trust an Arena Club authenticated card versus a PSA, right? Where PSA is established, it's considered impartial, right? To some degree, right? Same thing with CGC. This is what they specialize in. So I'm not sure if they continue sort of authenticating cards at Arena Club, but it's something that, right, it would it, I don't know that if it makes sense for us to do something like that. To be quite frank, even if we kind of had the the additional staff to work on something like that, I don't know if it's worth pursuing, because it goes to, even in the comics, right? You see CBCS, it's sort of considered the ugly stepchild of the comic book grading space, because their comics command about a 20 to 30% discount to that same exact comic being graded by CGC. And on the inverse of that, right, in the card space, PSA is about a 20-30% and even higher premium over the same grade and card that's graded by CGC. And then if I were to think, well, let's say Fanable jumps in and we start authenticating it, I don't know if we're gonna ever get or achieve the same level of trust in that graded in the grading space as the established players, right? It would be too, and it would be outside of our core strength, right? I just don't. I'll be frank. Anything's possible, but I personally I don't see it as being something that we would start pursuing. Now, the idea of the eBay, of allowing users to cross list on eBay, I think not only is that doable, but I can see that making sense in so many ways for us and our users.
Kick ass. We do have to get a couple of questions from YouTube from D, and then we got to get out of here, so just so you can get to your meeting.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh, and also I sent you the giveaway winner stuff, so you can
Perfect.
select. There's only two. We there's a few restocks we did that we didn't do, like a retweet campaign, but don't forget about the YouTube, right? There's a giveaway winner for that. There's one for the current listeners, right, of this show. But yeah, let's get those questions from YouTube.
Okay, what's up, D?
Okay, thank you. And I just want to give a shout out to the people tuning in on YouTube.
What's up?
We've been seeing a lot more people showing up there from when we first started 4 weeks ago. Okay.
Amazing.
So the first question is from Sven. So he asks, is there a plan to stimulate market listings of Pokemon items? I have the feeling Fanable can give a delayed offer after 3 days that would help secondary market, for example.
Okay, I see. So if I'm understanding the question right, we can. Well, we already buy stuff from our users, as you know, right? But you're saying if we at Fanable start going into the marketplace and making offers, there's only one caveat to that, is that when we implemented our 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 sort of what do you call this, when we go out and start purchasing comics or cards from our users, right, that program, we actually were contemplating making offers for comics that and cards that people opened in the kiosk, right, at 100% of the fair market value, because that's what we currently offer. We offer 100% of the fair market value. If you send in a card or a comic to Fanable, we'll buy it at 100%. But we might have to rethink how we approach it. I'm not opposed to us making offers so that it can stimulate the marketplace activity. It won't be 100%. We can do it at 90%, and actually that would be great for us too. So at the very least, that user will get 90% of the fair market value, right? And then someone else can go in and offer higher than that, because we don't want to compete against our own users, right? But if it does help get things going, we can certainly do that. So that's not a bad idea. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think last week he had mentioned in the chats that when someone pulls something from a kiosk, there's an automatic buyback option from Fanable. So I think that's what he was referring to. Like, maybe not have that available right away to give other users a chance, kind of thing.
Oh, you saying to not have the automatic 90%?
Yeah, because I believe that talking about
Mm.
last week. Because right now, if I went and pulled something from the comic kiosk, I just scroll down and I can either keep it or I can accept the offer from Fanable. So, and a lot of people do that like right away, to get money to go and again and pull the lever again. So I think what he was referring to was to not have that option from Fanable right away, so it gives other users a chance to like put in their offer.
I mean, my
Mm.
personal opinion, I would not go with that. I go with the former that you said, D. I think a lot of people use that and actually fund their next poll with offers if they didn't get exactly what they wanted. So I personally would say I would stay kiosk user friendly versus potential buyer friendly, and those guys may never, pop up. You know what I
True.
mean?
Yeah.
Because yeah.
My question from that would be, what would stop people from just going to our competitors that offer that?
True. I mean,
No.
I'm just relaying the question, but yeah, those are all good points on the pros and cons, of how a certain user sees it.
Good question. Yeah, I think the instant liquidity is something that I think so many of the users value that it'd be a hard sell, right? To not give that instant liquidity. I do have time for one more question, because in 1 minute I have to jump into the team code. Was there another one from YouTube I can answer?
Yeah, I have three other ones, but okay. So, what's the fee structure difference? This user is new to Fanable, so he just wanted to know what the different fee structures were. And depends
It
on the
goes
level.
from entry level. When you set up an account, it starts at 9%. Hello, hello.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Oh, sorry, I was getting a call. It starts from 9% down to 6%. And that's available in our Git book if you want to see the breakdown of how you achieve certain levels. If you go to the Fanable app and go to like FAQs, click on that link and it'll take you to our Git book. And on there on our Git book, you can see that the specifics of that.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
And what's another one?
Okay, so another one was, when secret kiosk, and also, are we getting closer to Canadians being able to bring comics home?
Next week, we were supposed to do the secret kiosk this week, but the new update that will ensure that no one can purchase more than 5 at a time. Five
Yeah.
altogether. Is part of that app update that'll be pushed live first thing Monday morning. So you'll see the secret kiosk open up Monday or Tuesday, the latest. And then a global shipment that's still ongoing, that'll be done this quarter. I know Taylor's working with Brinks on that. So that'll come this quarter. One final quick question that I can answer. I'm technically late.
That was all the questions, but people are excited for the auction feature as well. And thank you, Sergio.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Thank you, guys. Talk to you soon. And then, Omilli, you got the giveaways, right?
Yep. I'll
There
send
should
you
be
the.
4 total between all of them.
I'll
At
send you the
least, I don't
winners.
know. Okay. Thank you. Bye.
All right.
Bye, Sergio.
Peace. Okay, guys. Let's. Anyone just has like a regular thing they want to say in here? Anything you like about the app? Anything you don't like? You guys know how I run my spaces. I have to be able to flood the companies if people need it flooded, so it could be better. So anything you want to say, feel free to come up.
Well, I have some FUD information. I mean, I'm always ready for
The
your
FUD
first
just
person.
means that, yeah, if someone's like unhappy or anything, that, to me, I think it's very important. And I wouldn't even work for a company if they said, hey, we can't have any, negative, blah, blah, blah. I wouldn't even do that. So I want to make sure people always feel open to do that, because the good companies, they know that only makes them better. So they want to hear it.
Now, my FUD isn't actually directly on Fanable. It's actually about Marvel. And by extension, I know Marvel and TV advertise, so I apologize in advance. But this isn't something that is VB related at all because it was about a physical. So you know how much I love physicals, right? But this is a situation where it was not good, which is the ultimate end game blind bags got released last week. And everyone was really excited because for months they've been advertising the release because this is Marvel's very first blind bag. Because DC has done it twice already. Indies have done it, like Mark Spears did extremely well with two of them last year. So this is Marvel's first foray. So they came
First
out
solo blind bag. They've
right.
done it on Whatnot.
Oh yeah. So and you're exactly right. So like Whatnot's blind bags kind of had a specialized releases, but this is the first mainstream hit all LCS's type of thing, right? So everyone had like this was their big opportunity to show everyone that like you're gonna show up, you're gonna roll up, you will be able to get one anywhere where you shop for Marvel comics, physical comics, and you're gonna like it. Well, ended up no one liked it because they all came busted. Some people are pointing the blame at the distributors, which is Penguin. Some people are pointing the blame at the printers, but I don't think it's the printers because the people who got the promotional copies of those, that were sent not through Penguin, their copies were perfect. But everyone who went through Penguin, including 10 of mine, came with spine dents. They came folded. And it's a travesty because like every single one of the heads were busted. I had a 1 in 50. I sold that along with the other 5 that I got. Like I kept a couple, but like I sold a 6-pack for $4.99. Like that's not good because I paid $50 for 10 of these blind bags, right? So that's like a markdown of craziness levels, right? They were all busted, and it's a shame because I've seen some beautiful ones. Like there were one of ones of Robert Downey Jr. signing his freaking Doctor Doom like cover sketch art, like a one of one. It would. I can tell you, it could probably go for thousands of dollars if it was pristine. But and this was on Reddit. Everyone looked at the spine and said, "Oh my God, there's so much. Like this spine is trashed," and so automatically that thing is not worth crap. And I even saw Swaggle House. You guys over on VG know Swaggle House. He even posted about it, and he was like, "Guys, like the one of 1,000s." And then he saw a couple of eBay lists, and like all of them were trashed. All of them were trashed. And he goes, and where they should be selling for thousands, they're selling for hundreds. And he was trying to spend it. He was like, okay, well, because like everyone's not going to want these and none are going to be bothered to be graded because they're all trash. Maybe there's arbitrage opportunity to pick them up cheap now. But I mean, that's pushing it. Like who wants trash comics? They're all trashed except for the 2-pack promos that went out to influencers. That's it. Now, that's my FUD. But what I was saying, I didn't get to say
good FUD.
Yeah, and it's legit because it's true. Like that is what happened, and it was a very important run that got manhandled, literally manhandled and mishandled. But now here is something that I don't know to be true or not because it hasn't been revealed, and the community's kind of wondering. Upper Deck received directly from the printers an uncirculated copy on retail of all books. Right. I don't know if you know that or not, but what they do is like they literally use white gloves and they take it straight from the press and they stick it in the soft slab. So they're like, it has pretty much never touched human hands. And you could have bought blind bags through these guys. I bought only one because I bought a 10-pack elsewhere. So I was like, I'll just buy one for the one. If I get that one back and I zoom in and I see that soft slab spine is perfect and it's uncirculated, the first thing I'm going to do is going to hit the secondary on eBay, and you can't buy there. It's crazy. You're going to have to trade for it, or you're going to have to hope somebody puts it up. And remember, I said there's a secondary market called the Authority. I hope someone ports it out to the Authority because every single one of those are the best condition ones that you can ever get anywhere. And so few people use. This is kind of heads up PSA for your followers, Omilli. Like so few people even know that this exists as an opportunity. That if you see a ratio there, like there might be only like 1 or 2 of the 1 in 1,000s over an Upper Deck. If someone grabs it and grades it, and like basically sends it straight to CGC, and they pop it out of the soft slab, uncirculated, and they grade it, it's going to come back like a 9.8 or a 9.9. Because it's card stock. That could go for like incredible amounts of money. So we don't know yet. They haven't been revealed. They're always a little slow to reveal, even though New Comic Book Day was the week before. But just keep an eye out on EPAC, Collect Forever, Upper Deck, for uncirculated copies of Ultimate Endgame, which just came out.
I have an absolute Batman soft slab, #1 cover A.
Oh my God! Do you still have it over an EPAC right there? Just vaulted over
No,
there?
I redeemed it. I wanted to hold it in my hands and cradle it like a baby.
I mean, how special does it feel that, like, it is uncirculated, like no human hands have touched it? Isn't that crazy? It's a crazy feeling, right?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Did you say uncircumcised?
Uncirculated. It's actually,
Oh,
the
okay.
first person to introduce that to the VV community, I want to give credit where credit is due. It was Comics and Crypto. But he wasn't talking about comic books at the time. He was talking about collectibles. He was saying, I think the very first post I ever heard of it uncirculated was there was a brown shipping box. And inside the shipping box, I think were like Kenner toys. And he goes, those toys have been in that shipping box, like to, whatever, Sears or whatever it is, since the late 70s. And that box has never been cracked open. And inside are all these like pristine mint collectibles, but it's like Schrodinger's cat. You're never going to open the box, but it's in there, right? So that's what we'll call uncirculated. Never placed on a rack, never placed on a shelf, directly from the manufacturer. And those are extremely valuable. And that's what's over an Upper Deck. So it's not shade on Fanable, it's not shade on all these other people, but I'm just saying this in these kind of minute opportunities. You have to see what is out there and what it could possibly do because of the circumstances in the industry. And right now, because it's a dump fest everywhere else, these uncirculated copies over in Upper Deck have an opportunity to go crazy. But I haven't even heard Swag talk about it. I haven't heard anybody else talk about it. But I just want to let you know that there are at least a few eyes on it right now.
And let me give you an exclusive here. D, would you like an exclusive for the people on YouTube as well?
Yes.
Okay. Anybody who's looking for those comics like John is talking about, supposedly, Max and Janie have a whole bunch, more than most stores. And they are going to be going live on January 14th. So they sent me a little message to play for everyone.
Hi, we're the Omi homies, Max
and Janie,
reminding y'all to make sure y'all visit us on our Whatnot.
January 14th at 3 p.m. Pacific.
We're going to have Ultimate Endgame, tons of comics, tons of merch, tons of collectibles, and the first appearance of
David Yu, y'all.
So make sure y'all hang out with us. Millie, back to the action.
So you heard it here first, January 14th. These guys have a whole bunch of Endgame comics, and it's we're gonna have to see if they said they checked the boxes, they checked inside, everything looks all right. We're gonna have to see. But when David Yu came to the spaces, he says, I got the connection over there, I got a whole bunch. It's all gonna go to our Whatnot show with Max and Janie, and they can only sell for retail. They can only sell for retail. So if you end up on that show, you'll be able to get some of these goodies. Sketch variants probably in there, but all on retail. They cannot sell it for anything extra than that. And David Yu's going to pop out for the first time and actually rip open some bags with the community. So Max and Janie are doing an absolutely amazing job on Whatnot. Shout out to True Media being the first power couple to do these type of things. And now we got Max and Janie doing it too on Whatnot. And yeah, I can't wait. But that's my little alpha for this space. If you're still looking for Ultimate Endgame, you'll be able to get it on the 14th on the Whatnot. And they got like exclusive fig pins. They have fig pins that haven't dropped. I think, John, are you kind of an anime person? I forget.
Yeah,
Sorry.
a little bit.
They have like, they have. I don't know if you've heard of this fig pin fusion card. But yeah, something they have that hasn't launched yet. It only like got sent to a few people. Max and Janie got them because the fig pin people love them, and it's like a pin, and it comes with a card that you can get graded. So yeah, there's something going on there. They're gonna have more of those happening over there. I might get the fig pin people on a spaces also to give away those. So I'll let you guys know in case anyone wants to collect some. I think it's a One Piece fusion card, they're calling it. So it's like a new thing they're dropping on FigBin. Sloppy, what's up?
That's
I'm a
incredible.
one piecer. I'm a one
Oh,
piecer.
I gotta get you there then. I gotta get you there. I gotta get you there. Slops, your interview thing, whatever, is in 15 minutes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is.
Okay, so the link is out there, guys. If you want to join that. I have one more giveaway to give. And you're gonna run your giveaway, D?
Yeah, we're gonna be running the giveaway on YouTube, and then we'll let you know
Perfecto.
the winner.
Sounds good. Sounds good. And there was some winners on December 12th that didn't get their cases yet, but we're still catching up. So you guys will have your cases in the next couple of days. So I think D was
Yes.
in there.
Apologies, guys.
Yeah,
We'll
it's
get
all
it
good.
to-
It's all good.
We'll get it to y'all next week, hopefully around Wednesday. That's
Yeah,
the plan.
Marzin's in there. There's a couple people. So we will take care of that. I am going to run one more giveaway for people who listened to my rules from last night. It was very simple. Like and retweet, comment something you'd like to accomplish this year, and then tag a friend. I don't get to enter, but if I would say stop making as many childish jokes on the spaces. That is one of my goals. Will I be able to do it? Absolutely not. I'm also self-aware. Alrighty, guys. Okay, let me just put this into the X picker.
While you do that, I want to apologize in advance for like looking Max and Janie's like event. I had no idea that they were about to sell all these bags. But look, like you said, they're not coming directly from Penguin
No,
Distributors.
everyone knows there's been issues. I don't think they care. You still want to be able to try to get it. So no, don't apologize ever.
Okay.
Bro.
Yeah, I definitely did
we're
not do
good.
that to say, oh, in advance of their sale, let me tell you how sucky they are. That was
No,
not
no,
my
no,
intent
no.
whatsoever. And there is a possibility that these are not messed up because, like you said, like if they got requisitions directly from like David Hughes'
That's what I'm
ass
thinking.
instead of through Penguin, then that could be a whole box of pristine copies, which no one can find. So that would be incredible. Like we'll know from the first rip, right? And then they look at the spine and they go, "Oh my God, this is perfect." Then you should expect everyone to be like, "Oh my God, tell everybody get in here. They have a whole box of pristine." And then it'll be a madhouse.
Yeah.
So thank you for giving a
That's
heads up.
exactly what MF was saying. Like when just regular whatnot people scrolling around, when they hear what's happening there, because I guess these are getting harder and harder to get, they're gonna be very, very happy to jump in that whatnot. So wishing the best for Max and Zany because this is their brainchild. This was not like a thing Vivi thought about. It was really Max's idea, and then he approached them, and then they backed him on it. So nothing we love more than to see people out here trying some stuff out and then having it work is such a bonus. So I don't know, be corny, but yeah, if you're out there and you got ideas, man, go work them out. Go try everything out. I think trying and failing is better than not trying at all. So please go out there and cook, especially if you're into content.
It sounds like the only thing they got to worry about is the delivery driver punching the box.
Yes, exactly. Okay, and I have my winner for my giveaways. So we had JR. I found him on the timeline. And then we had someone named Sealy B, another physical collector. And then we had, last but not least, Jesse Hockey, which I believe is Montreal actor, somewhere in the crowd there. So those are my three winners. D will have one more, right? Was it one or two? I think it's one.
We have our winner from YouTube. Yes, it
Yes,
is
okay.
Sven.
Oh, shout out Sven, man. Sven's always messaging me, did I win something? Like, I'm like, Sven, what do you want me to do, man? So great to finally see Sven win.
Yes, sir, you did.
Yes, final week. Finally, I can say that. D, I think that's it from me. Thank you for staying. This show's supposed to be an hour, but it's so good. I don't mind it, going over. So thank you very much, True Media, everything you guys are doing for us on YouTube and for me personally. I think you guys know how much I appreciate you. John, thank you. No money.